Well, hello once again, farming friends, and welcome back to another edition of Farming Simulator 2015 with me, your old buddy, Mistermoose. And we're back on Manchester, or as Ian Robson would say, Manchester, whatever. And we are, of course, playing with the Soul mod on here today. We are going to be doing a little plowing and maybe a little fertilizing, some good stuff like that. Yesterday I had told you that we would probably get in here today and do a little bit of also harvesting back on those back fields that we were going to purchase. I am still going to purchase those and get going with them, but unfortunately I did go ahead and take a look at how long it would be for them to become harvestable, and it's basically going to be the next day. So I am not going to fast track time just to get those fields ready to harvest. Instead, we're just going to focus on field number 4 once again today. So, alright, so let's see if I can track our back here. Alright, got a plow. Alright, so our game plan for today is going to be get as much done as possible. We need to plow, fertilize, cultivate, plant. Yeah, there's a lot to do, so we probably won't get it all done, but we'll get most of it done today. And we'll get this guy pulled over here into the field. Might as well go ahead and unpack it. And we'll go get the other one real quick. Alright, so, oh, by the way, real quick. Some of y'all may have commented already in the video. I'm recording this well before the other video goes live for today, so this will be the follow-up on it. But yesterday in my video I commented about how the texture was all wrong on the lime. It was coming out gold. So I did a little looking around on the internet and through the mod sites and found a texture package made for Soul mod that fixes all the textures. And one of the things it did is it makes lime white. And so I did download that. It's called Geneborg Textures. I got that, installed it into my mods, and everything works fine. You don't actually put it into your mods folder though. What you do is you download the file, unzip it to your desktop or whatever, and there's 2 DDS files in there. They are your texture files. And why am I running? I'm silly. Anyways, there's 2 DDS files in there. You grab them, and then you need to take them and open up your Manchester zip and go into the map and put those where it says Soul Management, the folder for Soul Management. You have to paste those 2 DDS folders files in there, and that will overwrite the original textures for the Soul mod and make them look much better. And again, just the biggest thing just is take a look at it. And with any mod, this is a helpful tip today. With any mod you download, don't assume that you just drop it into the into your mods folder. I've done that many times, and only to load in the mod and it not work. So don't assume that every mod is correct. The first thing I do when I download a mod is I double click on the zip folder or RAR or whatever it is, and I look at it to see what it looks like on the inside. Is it, are there any subfolders in there? Are there any internal zips that need to be undone? What do I need to do? And I always check that out first, and that way I know exactly what I'm getting into when I check all this stuff out. Alright, 1050. Let's get you set up as well. So what I think I'm going to do today is combination Courseplay me plow. So I'll let this guy be the lead tractor doing Courseplay. And everything looks good on my course path. So I need to come in here and go into fieldwork mode. Why is it not letting me select fieldwork? Oh. There we go. Get that off the screen. So what I want to do today is do this a little bit different than I've done before. I'm going to select Field 4, and I'm going to set this just like we did before. I'm going to double up the width of my working implement, and then I am going to have this guy drive the center line and do his offsets. And then what I'll do is I'll come and I'll drive the outside line manually. And that way only one tractor is going to be doing the course. But I'll be, doing the rest of it. So if that makes sense to you, right? So we're going to dial this up, and again, we've decided that 9.6 meters is our doubled up for this. So I'm going to go 9.6 meters as a combined working width of the two plows. The starting corner looks like we're in the northwest corner. I don't want to start in the northwest corner. I want to start... Yeah, I do. Northwest is fine. And that means we'll be headed east. And what we'll do is... we'll do... How many headlands do you guys want to do? We really don't need but one or two. We need two because of this ditch over here. We'll end up running into the ditch. So let's do the 2 headlands. And that'll be fine. We can do those afterwards. So I think that'll work. Generate that course. And then I want to... Boy, that doesn't look... Yeah, it looks alright. Then we'll come in here, activate 4-wheel drive, lane offset. Again, I'm just going to have it come 1 meter to the left, or 0.1 meter to the left. And I am going to have the symmetrical lane change activated. And that will get this guy all set up and ready to go. And all I got to do is bring him right here. And I will say, nearest waypoint. I will drop my plow down. Pull him forward just a little bit. And tell him to drive the course. And then I will get in this guy. And I'm just basically going to follow, and I'm going to do the rest of the plowing myself. And I've never done this, so this will be a first for me and you as well. Make sure I'm getting this set up right. It doesn't look like we're quite as wide as we need to be, but one thing I'm worried about is the difference in horsepower in these two tractors is at 1050 just going off and leaving me. Yeah, but anyways. Alright, so we're going to have plenty of time to just ride along here and talk. The one thing I wanted to mention today in this video is my game plan for this field, because it is soul mod. We're going to have to watch all the numbers and everything. I went ahead and I sat down and I calculated for wheat. Now, of course, wheat's going to use a lot of water according to the tutorial that I've watched. So we are going to have to put a lot of water onto this field. But at the same time, hopefully once we get these headlands, we'll get these distances worked out right. We'll end up putting a lot of water on these fields. So basically I'm going to have to water every growth cycle. But my game plan going forward, I calculated everything out. And because of where my nutrients are and what I'm going to do to the field, I'm going to go ahead and this is going to be my schedule. We're going to put the lime down, plow the field. That will give us the 0.09 increase in our, or 0.9 increase in our soil pH, instead of just the 0.7 that you get if you just lay it down on the field. So we'll plow that in. That is going to drop our water down 14% by plowing the field, but that's the way it goes. So then we'll come back and I'm going to put an application of fertilizer down. Now, instead of going NPK on the field, I'm going to do an application of just N, and that will give me, instead of 3 points in fertilizer, that's going to give me 5 points in fertilizer. I know that may seem a little bit high, but it should, in the end, I should be like, if I calculated everything out right, I should be 1 point over. You're supposed to shoot for 5. I should be at 6 when it's all said and done, so we should be fine. Then, let's see, so we're going to put fertilizer down. I'm going to cultivate, and then I'm going to come back, do a watering to put some moisture back into the field. And then the last thing I will do is come back and seed the field after I do the watering. And that will be everything that I do on what is today for this field. So that's the game plan anyways for today. Then when we move forward to day 2, we're going to put weed control down. We'll put a double dose of BB down, and that will give us weed control for 3 days. It takes 4 cycles for the wheat to grow, so that should give us plenty of weed control for that entire time. That will also give us 14% moisture into the field, which will help us out because we're losing quite a bit of moisture on this field. Let's see, we'll do that. Then we'll actually water again on day 2 because we're going to need the moisture. That's it for day 2. Day 3, we will come back and we're going to put a little more fertilizer down. We're going to put PK down at that point. And the reason I'm not doing NPK again versus just doing PK and N is I want the higher values and I need the moisture for the field. So on day 3, we'll come back, I'll spray some PK. That will give me plus 3 for my PK, which will get me up to I think I'm gonna be at 3 on harvest day, maybe 4 on harvest day. I forget where my numbers ended up putting me, but I'll be pretty close to perfect on those numbers, and I'll be pretty happy with it. Did I miss a little bit back there? It looks like maybe I did. So that's day 3, and of course I will water on day 3 as well, because as I told you, we're going to need a lot of moisture on this field. And day 4 will just be watering. So that's the work schedule, and then we'll harvest on day 5. Well, that other tractor is just walking away and leaving me, and that's one of the reasons I thought about getting another 1050, is so both machines would have that 500 horsepower. So this thing wants to drift so bad. So anyways, that's all the steps we're going to go through with this field using the soil mod and to get it up and going. And the water content is going to be something we'll just have to watch on that last day to see where we're at. One of the reasons we're going to lose so much water on this field is we have 2 days in which the temperature is going to get up over 22 degrees Celsius. If you pay attention to the soil mod stuff, you lose each day at midnight in the growth cycle, depending on the fruit that you're seeding, you lose water just for that fruit, and so you lose 14%. Each day that the temperature is up over 22 degrees Celsius, you lose 14%. When you turn the soil like this plowing, you lose 14%. You don't lose the 14% when you cultivate, just when you plow. And I know plowing is unnecessary in this game, but it's something that I do in real life. And so my farming, I try to keep, pretty much close to real life. I don't do some of the ridiculous stuff that you might see other people do. That's not me. I play this game sort of to relax and have fun, and to, play with machinery that I don't normally get to play with on the farm. Don't get to play with a Fendt tractor on the farm. So, but I do try to keep it real. I don't get ridiculous in it. And while some people change their machinery out every single day, I did notice watching a stream the other day that the guy wasn't even purchasing harvesters or anything anymore. He was basically renting everything, which makes a lot of sense. It absolutely makes perfect sense to me to... This is going to be ugly, because we're not on the same path. He's going to hit me. Yeah, I knew it. I should have waited just a little bit. Alright, so I'm just going to raise up and come back around. I need to let him just get a little bit ahead of me. And, but anyway, so I noticed he was renting all of his machinery, which makes absolute sense if every day you want to change out your equipment. And maybe I do that a little bit. Maybe I take a page out of his book, and for certain things we rent for one day just so we can showcase it and not have to buy it. I would rather run my farms, though, sort of real, but then again, I throw all that out the window when I start a new map and I put a couple of $1 million in the bank and go off and purchase everything I want to use. So how did I miss that line right there? I'm not going to worry about it because it will all come out with the cultivator. I want to let him get a lane ahead of me, and that way we don't run into each other anymore. Alright, so anyways, yeah, I run this thing like I do. So anyways, getting back to the soil mod stuff. So that covers water loss. So you lose water basically when you turn the soil. Whatever plant you're using uses uses water, I think 3 times for everything except for wheat. Wheat uses it 4 times. Then if it rains, for every hour it rains, supposedly it adds in 14%, but we didn't see that with Holzhausen, so I'm not real sure about that one either. But we do know that we do know for sure that anytime the temperature gets over 22°C, we're going to lose 14% of our water. So that's the reason why I am making that little bit of a change. Yeah, I don't like doing it this way. What else about Soul Mod can I explain to you while we're just sitting here plowing away? Let's see. pH is affected. You lose 0.2 pH once during the growth cycle for the plants. You also lose 0.2 pH every time you put N fertilizer down or NPK fertilizer down. Herbicide drops the pH by 0.2 as well. So we're putting on 9 points in pH right now. We're slightly alkalinity on ours. It ends up, if this ends up at 7.4. Oops. You know, I got my buttons all messed up. Well, I'm just doing a terrible job plowing, aren't I? Should put my outside wheels right there on that line, and everything should be hunky-dory. And it looks right. Alright, so that's that. Now, what does that look like in cab? It looks like running that line straight down the edge. The front line on the hood straight down the edge. So anyway, so with our setup, the way we're going to do it, we're going to lose 0.6 pH on this field. Plus, we had also lost a little bit. We were at neutral with it when we started. We were at 6.8, and 6.8 is where we want to be. So as we do this field, we're going to lose I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at this plow and make sure I get things somewhat right on it. It's not the way I want to do things, but I'm doing a miserable job of plowing right now because I'm talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. And then I keep dropping out of the vehicle because I hit the wrong button and all this good stuff. Anywho, so we're going to lose 0.6. We're at 7.3 right now, and so through the process of doing what we're going to do to it, we'll lose 6 points in that, so that will get us down to what, 6.7. So we'll be pretty close to being spot on our alkalinity as well. And then basically there's just our weed prevention at that point. So that's the game plan, and that's what we're going to be doing with the soul mod on this planting. Alright, let's see if we can do a proper pull here. Pick up, make my turn without running into the lake. Drop my implement down and get going again. That was a little bit better. If I think about it for a second, I actually will get in the habit of plowing. I've gotten out of the habit of it, you know. Been doing too much Courseplay. God, he's in 2 rows ahead of me now. So anywho, what else is going on? So that should get us all set up on this as far as getting going. Like I said, we're going to lose a lot of water because of the weather and the wheat. So we'll end up having to water this field quite a bit. right. So we'll probably just work this field this whole week. Probably will be our video series this week. I don't want to break it up, you know, and getting back to the whole thing about sticking with a particular series until we... Hello? Stupid AI. Why is that thing plowing so much? I'm sucking at plowing. I'm usually pretty good at it. I think it's because I'm trying to keep up with the AI side of it as well and follow his route. Where if I was just doing my own thing, I don't think I would really have to worry about it too much. That and I'm talking too much. I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so talking and doing farm sim just doesn't actually work well for me. Just kidding. Alright. So a couple of comments that have shown up on my YouTube channel recently I thought I'd talk about today, and it has to do with mod conflicts or mods, period. People are asking me about multi-fruit and how do I get multi-fruit on a map. Multi-fruit is something that is installed by the map maker. It's not something that you drop into your mods folder. It's something that actually has to be put in by the person who made the map. So if you get a map, it will usually say it's multi-fruit enabled. You don't have to do anything to get multi-fruit onto the map. You have to get the multi-fruit map to begin with. So just think about that. This particular map has multi-fruit on it. That's the reason I have oats on there. People are asking me, well, how do I plant such and such? Because I want to plant that on my field. Well, you got to have a map that's multi-fruit enabled. So make sure you look for that when you're looking at downloads and you're looking for information. You know, look at the map and look and see, does it offer multi-fruit? It will usually tell that, and it will have a required mod called multi-fruit, which you'll have to download and put in. Now there is, again, you have to have a mod. You have to have multi-fruit installed on the map, but there is also a mod that you have to put in your mods folder. That is, it's actually two mods. It's ZZ multi-fruit and ZZ multi-fruit something or other, I forget. But there's two files you actually have to have. But it all begins with the map. If the map doesn't have multi-fruit on it, then you're not going to have multi-fruit. So just thought I'd point that out. The other thing is the soul mod. How do I get the soul mod? You know, how do I use the soul mod or whatever? You have to have a map that is equipped with the soul mod. And like we discussed at the beginning of this map, you know, the reason I went with Holzhausen in the beginning was Holzhausen was the first map that I saw that was a decent map that had the soul mod on it. And so that was the reason I wanted to play it, just because it was a decent map and it had it. But when I saw Manchester came out with soul mod, I was like, well, I'd rather play Manchester. Honestly, I was going to try to get with someone and put the soul mod into North Brabant, but that never happened. So, man, I am missing a lot of spots. It's not really my fault. It's the other guys just driving a little wild. No, just kidding. That's alright. It will all come out when we cultivate. Why am I not steering? Oh, you stupid. Stupid. And I thought I disconnected all that. I got rid of it in a bunch of profiles, but I guess the profile I'm running right now, it's still enabled for the stupid auto worker hired help to get in. I will have to go back in and edit that profile once again and get rid of it. What am I talking about? It's the, on my gamepad, the one button that you hit. If I hit it alone, it hires help. If I hit it with my left shoulder, it raises my plow up. And inevitably, I will do something like push the button, let the shoulder up before the button is actually let up, and I end up hiring help and I can't steer anymore, and it irritates me to all end. Alright. So me doing this is nowhere near as efficient as letting Courseplay do it. But it's, at least I'm doing something and not standing around doing nothing. I could be fertilizing the field at this point, but, that would be kind of silly. Get the plow work done. So yeah, today's video looks like it's just going to be me sitting in a cab of the Fent and doing a little plowing. So, too terribly boring. I hope not. Anyways, oops. Was trying to get a screenshot there and went off a little bit. But again, the nice thing about doing it this way is all the stuff that I miss, I will clean up when I cultivate. Alright, so what did he do? Run into a tree up there? You should be able to get yourself off of it, buddy. Huh. Oh, wrong thing. I was about to say something silly, and then I realized, oh wait, never mind, I'm in the wrong tractor. I was looking at the fact that I pulled up there and didn't slide at all, and I'm thinking, well, this fence suddenly stopped sliding down the field, and then I was like, oh, never mind, I'm in the wrong one. Would like to see that get fixed, but and I haven't checked his page lately. I need to go check and see if maybe, just maybe, he's done an update. But I do like this 396. Or 939. Is that what it is? 936, 939. I think this is the 39 is what I purchased. So 390 horse versus the 360 was what the other one was. So the other one was the 936. This is the 939. Oops, sorry about that. Had a crick in my neck and went to adjust it, and therein lies the pitfalls of track IR. If I go to scratch my noggin and move my head, yeah, the camera goes all over the place. But I'm still able to do things like that and do it nice and easy, and I'll take that any day of the week. I just don't, I'm not a big fan of the Pro Clip, and as I discussed the other day, I'm not a big fan of it, and so I'm a little leery of getting it, but at the same time, I hate wearing a ball cap while I play my video game. So it's one of those what's the solution thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it one day with the clip hooked onto my headphones, because it will actually hook onto my headphones. Looks a little dorky, but I think it'll register and do the same thing. It might not be as accurate because of the clip sort of sits right in front of your head, where that would be sitting over my head, but I think it would probably register right. Or close enough. It's not like I'm using track IR to do like important surgery or something like that. What else is going on? Somebody commented the other day about the alpha mod and how they couldn't get it to plop trees down. I don't know what that would be. And you know, my first thought is, obviously, do you have the UPK in, which you said you did. The next thought is, are you running a map with multi-fruit? How many fruits do you have on your page? Do you have, 64 or more? You might consider putting the add-on to kick you up to 128 fruits, which is available at maru.net. That might help you out. But I'm not real sure what would be causing it, because the guy from last I saw had it in the store but wasn't able to place the trees, and that one's got me baffled because I've never run into that one. That would just be some sort of mod conflict, and I don't know where that's at. Not sure about that one. And let's see, one other comment stuck out that I saw this morning about a neat thing to do would be to use a line of Unimogs to harvest a field with. In that you would have like 6 or 8 Unimogs all in a row, and they would basically do set up in Courseplay to do combine mode and unload all the harvesters. Yeah, that would be cool for a video, but it's not going to be something I do because, again, I try to keep things more realistic. So yeah. On that realistic note, one thing that I did catch myself doing the other day, and I made a mental note of it, and I'll stop doing, is using a semi to do chaff. I've always said I don't believe in using tractor trailers in the field, just because it's not something that we do. When you do here, we don't do it. If you go in the field, you go in the field with a tractor and a tipper, or some sort of smaller trailer or whatever, and that's what you go into the field with, something 4-wheel drive, and that takes care of everything. I know there are some operations that do take them into the field, but there's that fence slide down the hill for me. Just go ahead and run this guy out of the field real quick. And I'll do those last 2 lines. So it's not something that I would do in real life. It is run a big rig into the field. I also wouldn't run 24 miles an hour across the field like that in real life. But so again, chaff is not something I do in real life. So it's a whole new demon to me doing it in this game. And so I found myself doing things I had seen other people do in the game, and then realized the other day that it wasn't right for what I, practice what I preach. And so I won't be doing that anymore. If I do harvesting on that, it's going to be I'll use like a tipper or on an auger wagon and take it to the side of the field and dump it, which would be or we'll just use 2 tractors and 2 big trailers to do it, which is what most operations do. If you look at most operations that do chaff, they usually have 3 or 4 tractors and trailers. You know, for a bigger operation, they usually have several tractors and trailers that run into the field, and you know, as soon as they get back to the field, the one's pulling away and you pull up into your slot, get filled up, and you're on your way back. And that's what you do all day long, is cart chaff back and forth to the farm. Now, I'm not saying there aren't operations that do use semis. I'm sure there are, but most operations I've seen are doing it more with tractors and dolly, or with tractors and tippers, and just hauling it back and forth to the bunker. So I'm probably, when I do this field and working from now on, I probably won't do any more work with a semi in the field. It makes it easier, yes, but it's just not as realistic to me. And I'm trying to be somewhat realistic in these videos, you know, and I've said that several times this video. But again, going back to why I do things the way I do things, it's just, that's my style. Everybody's got their own style. Some people play where they use a different piece of equipment every day. Some people play where they play the game strictly to the accords of how you play. I mean, I've watched one guy's videos where he will never tab through the vehicles. He walks to every piece of equipment, or takes some sort of vehicle around the farm all the time, and that's cool, and that's his cup of tea. It's not mine, granted, but that's what he likes to do. And so my thing is I play this as I would farming in life. And again, that's the reason I don't do the no-till thing. It's not my way of farming. Yes, I know no-till works, but it's not my thing. Alright, so we got these guys done, and I'm sure that took forever and a day to do. So next on the agenda is to fertilize and cultivate, and then we will come back and fertilize, cultivate, water, seed, and we'll get this field buttoned up. So that's what we'll do in the next video, because this one's gotten pretty darn long. I'm betting, I didn't check the time that I started it, but I'm betting it's at an hour. And so we'll pick back up at that point. And like I said, this video series for this week might be nothing but Manchester for the week. There's so much that needs to be done on this field, on this farm. I will probably I need to mow grass, get some grass done, get some hay done, which is one reason I still have $1.4 million up there, is because I need to still purchase a Moco mower, a windrow, a tedder, and get those done. Though we don't have to do any baling on this one. So those little things need to get done, plus planting the field. Most of the I probably will fertilize myself. I'll probably let these guys cultivate. I'll probably pick up another cultivator and let them cultivate the field together, and that won't take too long anyways. So we'll get that done, and then we'll go back and seed, and I'll probably use a big air seeder. I don't know. I talked about using the Vaterstat and doing double Vaterstats, so we may do that. Again, things change. I am indecisive, so bear with me on that. I try to remember what I say one day to the next, but sometimes I don't always remember. So yeah. Anyways, next one we'll break out the big John Deere sprayer. We'll spray the fields with our N fertilizer. Then we'll cultivate. We'll spray it with water. Then we'll come back and we'll set our seed in the ground, and that'll be our next video. We should be able to cover all that in the next video. But anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the series. And I'm pretty much going step by step on this because I want you guys to see everything that's involved in the soil mod and walk you guys through each and every bit of it when we do the soil mod videos, not skip over anything, because there is a lot to it. Calculating everything and figuring everything out is kind of critical. So I will try to each video reiterate what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, so you guys understand, and that way you guys will get a big grasp on what to do with the soil mod. So anyways, until tomorrow, that'll wrap it up for today. We got our field plowed, our lime is in. That brings us up slightly alkalinity, so hopefully we're pretty close all across the field. Some spots were really high. Alright guys, well, again, I hope you liked the video. If you did, make sure you give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you can see when all the new videos come out. I do a new video each and every day, and I hope you'll come back tomorrow and join us again for some more Farm Sim with me, Mr. Moose. Until then, stay safe, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.